The anime starts with our main character, Tomokui Kanata, being brutally attacked by a wild lady who seems to derive pleasure from it. Despite the pain, Kanata remains silent, his lifeless eyes fixated on the moon above. The lady calls out his name, but Kanata is indifferent, as he knows he is already dead. Upon awakening, Kanata finds himself face to face with an old goblin, bewildered by his own existence and the presence of the green creature. The old goblin decides to name them Gokichi and Goburou respectively. Kanata, now Goburou, expresses disappointment at the lack of effort in the naming process. The old goblin then stuffs a bug into Goburou's mouth, prompting a groggy response. The next day, Goburou finds himself surrounded by other goblins, realizing he too has become one of them. The realization of his transformation into a helpless goblin overwhelms him, leading to tears. As days pass, Goburou notices rapid growth in his body, realizing that goblins mature much faster than expected. Determined to survive, he embraces his new life with optimism. On the fourth day, the old goblin gives them some bugs and informs everyone that this will be the last food they'll get from him. He will no longer provide food. Goburou and the goblins enjoy their last free meal. Stepping outside, Goburou takes in the sight of one sun shining in a blue sky, yet it's filled with strange, unsettling birds, and there are unfamiliar plants all around, signaling that this world is unlike anything he's known. Gob-Kichai steps out too and also marvel at the sights around them, both admitting it's their first time seeing the outside world. Taking a moment, Goburou introduces himself and teaches Gob-Kichai his name, forming a bond between them. Their goal, to hunt for food. As they explore, they stumble upon a horned rabbit grazing peacefully. With Gob-Kichai's help, Goburou positions himself strategically, ready to strike. As the rabbit approaches, Goburou swiftly brings it down with a well-aimed blow from his stick. However, their joy is short-lived when Gob-Kichai moves to devour the catch alone. Frustrated, Goburou insists they share, resorting to gentle persuasion with his stick to enforce the lesson of cooperation. Gob-Kichai, not far behind, marvels at the unfamiliar world outside, expressing his awe at its newness. Sharing the same sentiment, on the sixth day, Goburou and Gob-Kichai met Gobmi. She seemed impressed by their hunting skills and ability to eat horned rabbits. Gobmi shared a sad story about someone who was killed by a creature named Goburou. It was quite surprising. Gob-Kichai wanted some praise too, but Gobmi told him he was just average. The leader asked Gobmi if she wanted to join their hunt the next day. She happily agreed and hugged Goburou. However, they couldn't go hunting when the time came because it was raining. So, they postponed the hunt until the following day. Goburou used this indoor time to check what supplies they had. He also tried to make a new weapon. Goburou found some ore and began refining it with a rock. While he worked, he couldn't help but think about the human captives nearby and their unfortunate situation. He tried to push those thoughts aside, and Gob-Kichai helped by starting a conversation and telling him he seemed motivated. The seasoned goblin observes that Goburou might level up faster than anticipated upon a closer look. This is the first time the young one hears about this leveling idea. Gobji educates him about the gestures used to display one's level. Goburou taps his head, and the system notifies him that Gobji is at level 86. The elder reveals that upon reaching level 100, one can evolve into a more advanced being. This achievement is quite rare, as only one out of every dozen goblins manages to accomplish it. Goburou notes mentally that goblins age rapidly, as Gobji, despite being in his 22nd, appears to be on his last legs. The old goblin informs Goburou that the goblins in their prime will return soon. When they do, the newborns will witness what an evolved hobgoblin looks like. However, Gobji is more interested in seeing what kind of prey they will bring this time. It has been 8 days since Goburou's reincarnation. Gobmi joins them on their hunt and hits a monster snake with a slingshot. This provides an opportunity for the boss to take it down. They employ their new tactics to hunt a variety of prey. Gobmi acts as support, while Goburou takes the mid-range position, and Gokichi leads the charge with his formidable power. They successfully skin a snake they hunted, allowing them to savor their catch. Gobmi becomes emotional, expressing her dissatisfaction with only eating fruits like a herbivore. The leader of the group takes a bite of the snake and gains the ability to produce venom, along with resistance to it and other skills. He recognizes the snake as high level due to the new abilities he acquired. Goburou prevents Gokichi from consuming the poisonous head, relying on his resistance. Despite the challenges, Goburou is determined to survive in his second life. On the 9th and 10th days, the trio prepares their gear and embarks on their usual hunting trip. They encounter bats in a cave, initially overwhelming them, but Goburou uses his evil eye to stun them, making it easier to defeat them. During the feast, Goburou gains new abilities like echolocation and vamphilia, impressing their peers who wish for such nutritious food. On the 12th night, jealous goblins attempt to ambush Goburou while he sleeps, but his search ability alerts him, enabling him to fend off the attackers. Unfortunately, one of them succumbs to the venom used by Goburou. Witnessing this, the others back down. Out of frustration, Goburou begins choking one of the defeated goblins, prompting the boss to intervene. On the 13th day, the trio executes a well-coordinated attack, successfully defeating their first orc. After consuming its meat, Goburou gains the ability to speak the orc language, along with other traits. Feeling generous, he suggests sharing some meat with the others in the cave, realizing the importance of unity after the recent attack. Initially hesitant, the other goblins eventually accept the offer, thanking Goburou for his kindness. Reflecting on his changed behavior, Goburou realizes that his perspective on helping others has evolved since his previous life. That night, as he sleeps, the system notifies him that he has fulfilled special conditions and offers him the chance to evolve into a hobgoblin, which he eagerly accepts. Awakening on the 14th morning, Goburou notices his increased size and appearance resembling his previous form. Goburou also notices his transformation, and Goburou praises their enhanced appearance. They are surprised by their rapid progress, achieving a rank up in less than a month since their birth, an unprecedented feat. Goburou wants to gauge his newfound strength, so he proposes a sparring match with Goburou. They venture to a secluded part of the forest where they engage in a fierce brawl. Despite Goburou's impressive power, Goburou, the Goblin Chad, emerges victorious. Their duel is interrupted when Goburou senses impending danger. Aware that Goburou was observing them, Goburou calls her forth and instructs her to wield the crossbow they crafted earlier. Meanwhile, a pack of wolves begins hunting horned rabbits, driving them into goblin territory. After feasting on the rabbits, the wolves spot an orc and target him as their next prey. The trio, observing from a distance, sees an opportunity to test their evolved strength against the wolves. Goburou signals Goburou to initiate the attack by targeting the wolf pack's leader with a well-aimed shot from her crossbow. As chaos erupts, Goburou and Goburou engage the wolves head-on, swiftly overpowering them. The absence of their leader leaves the black wolves disorganized and vulnerable. Despite a fierce struggle, Goburou and Goburou emerge victorious, standing triumphantly over the defeated wolves. Although the wolf leader attempts to rise again, Goburou delivers the final blow, ensuring their victory. Goburou wastes no time sinking his teeth into the meat, immediately gaining new abilities: Wild Hunt, Hides Armor, and Order. These skills grant him military leadership prowess. Together with Goburou and Goburou, they present their impressive catch to the rest of the goblin horde, who are duly impressed. Goburou, however, seeks no gratitude. He merely expects them to match their hunting efforts. Some of the horde members express concern about meeting such a high quota. Worried, they plead with Goburou not to punish them. Recognizing their lack of combat skills, Goburou decides to teach them how to defend themselves and even offers to instruct them in weapon crafting. Encouraging them to stand up as comrades, Goburou earns their admiration and loyalty. They hail him as a good leader, chanting his name in unison. Whether it's due to the order ability he acquired or some other influence, Goburou feels a sense of clarity about his path forward to grow stronger, lead his comrades, and achieve his goals. With a sly grin, he contemplates his secret plans. By the 17th day, progress is evident, but there's still much to learn. Returning to the cave, Goburou is pleased to find that Goburou has also evolved into a hobgoblin. She flashes him a cute smile, marking the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.